So today is the time, before the owners meet and before this moves, hopefully, to conclusion rapidly, that these interests be heard and that these needs be resolved. What the present lawsuit on behalf of all retirees does is provide the single unified mechanism to put together all the needs and interests of retirees.
Football is a violent, vicious game, and retired players, we're not asking the NFL to give us anything. All we're asking for is what we've earned. Been fighting for benefits since 1979. That's 32 years. Is, guys, you're just one hit away from being a retired player. The only issues facing football players, there's 3 issues. There's pensions, disability, and medical after football. All the rest is nonsense.
Tell Upshaw to fix our damn pensions. I go to Gene, I say, hey man, are we going to help them? They had their chance. That was his answer, which they gave to you. We've never had a chance with the union. They've never represented us, and then they act like we're begging. We've earned a right to have a livable pension. Yeah, we have a golf tournament at the Super Bowl for destitute Hall of Famers. That's pretty sick. Baseball doesn't do it, basketball doesn't do it, and hockey doesn't do it. Only football. The most lucrative sport on the planet can't take care of about 2,000 guys, and that's wrong. But take care of the guys who built the league. We just wanted a livable pension and disability benefits.
I developed hydrocephalus, which is water on the brain, from repeated concussions during the course of my 12 years of football. I'm on my 9th brain surgery now. Earlier this year, I was on 4 different dementia medicines at once. This is my brain. There shouldn't be any holes in it. It says, due to brain trauma and frontal lobe dementia, I have directed George to file for disability and claim and believe he is 100% disabled. Do I qualify for anything from the NFL? No.
Because I'm not sure if I want my son to play football when he grows up. I've gone through in my career with surgeries and missing games and having to put your leg back together, having to be in the hospital for 5 days because you had an infection that you caught at the facility. This is far from the glitz and glamour of the NFL. So we need to bring these issues to the public so everybody's aware of exactly what is going on and what 3 years, 4 years, 2 years, 1 year of football can do to your life and change you for the rest of your life. We need to support these men, and we need to do what's right. It's not about the money. It's about doing what's right. We support our retired players, and we're going to do everything that we can so they can get the medical attention and the things that they earn.
I will say that there are a lot of things that the NFL needs to improve on. As you can see, we're in a lockout situation right now, and that's not just for active players, that's for retired players as well. See my wife crying because I already know she's imagining that being me in my years to come.
Basically, all we want, and like other guys have said, are the benefits that we have earned. Concussions, I don't know how many I have had. 10, 12, 14, I really don't know. I spent the whole week in the hospital. Guess what? I played the next game with broken vertebrae. They did not tell me I had a broken vertebrae in my neck. I think one of the biggest things, though, is not the physical impact, but it's the mental impact. Remember Dave Durrison a few months ago shot himself. I want to tell you something. I didn't want to admit it, but I've thought of that. People have to know what these football players are going through. And it's physical, it's financial, it's mental. Why can't the NFL give us something that we've earned?
Offensive line was Dan Deerdorf. He's had his hips replaced twice and has had 1 total knee. I've had 9 total knees. I need my shoulder replaced. Tom Banks, the other center, he's had 2 hips and 1 knee, and we just got him into rehab down in Florida because of his addiction to drugs, painkillers. I take Bactrim every day for the rest of my life because I have a severe case of MRSA from the knee surgeries. So I have to be on that the rest of my life, and I take Vicodin all day long. Bob Young, the other guard, he has died. Now that's one offensive line that we played together for 6 years, and between us, we don't have enough body parts to make a whole person. The owners, they put the AstroTurf into the stadiums for 3 reasons. It was cheaper, no maintenance. It was better for the equipment, no damage or wear and tear on the equipment. And also, it was better for television, for the viewing audience. Not one of those ideas of putting AstroTurf in there ever dealt with the safety of the players. They've cut my calf muscle in half and had to fold it over the knee because they didn't have any meat left on it. I have a stent, a tube in my leg now that goes all the way down to my ankle because they have to keep going deeper with it because they keep breaking. The union cannot represent 2 masters. They cannot represent the current players, and they cannot represent the retired players and make it even. Someone's got to lose. And it's usually the retired players because we have no benefit to them. It's time that the public stops paying through Medicare and through the social benefits to the retired players that can't afford it. The owners got to pick up the tab.
I played 16 years with the Houston Oilers. We have played this game to the best of our knowledge and the best of our ability. When I was a player rep for the union at that time, and Gene Upshaw we were on the board. I was on the board with him, and I always thought they would take care of other players, and that's why I always felt that my days are numbered. Everybody's here days are numbered at this point. We just like to get the word out there that hey, this is not didn't just happen. We always talk about one thing: pensions. Always the number one thing about what pensions are. We're ball players, and the day it's over, it's over. It's over. I had 13 operations, 1 knee replacement and 4 knee operations, and hip. I need another hip. All of these things, you know, when I tell people when it's over, it's over. You turn the TV off, and they think we go and have a great time. Our life is just beginning. Then in the end, you don't know what I and others have sacrificed, and what we've gone through, and what we get back. We're not asking, we're not begging for nothing. We just do the right thing. Just tell the story like it really is. The NFL doesn't want to tell the story. We've been around, play the hell out of football, and Mike Webster winds up, under a bridge. I mean, you don't hear these stories. I mean, until they're, that one guy, but there's more of Mike Websters out there that you don't hear of. But our days are numbered. Those guys that are in here, those young kids that were in here a while ago, they're going to be standing where we're standing one day, guaranteed. My knee was $9,000, 3 days in the hospital. I'm sorry, $93,000, let me get it straight. My back was $125,000. Well, I just hope you take what we're giving you today, take it out there and tell everyone, tell the world. I've done this before, I've done this many times. I'm just hoping that this time it'll stick.
Now, the average NFL career is 3-point-something years. Now, I had 16 football-related surgeries. When we played, you were brought up with a warrior-type mentality because if you didn't play when you were hurt, you were considered to be less of a man. You considered yourself to be less of a man. And if you didn't do that, they would find somebody who would play when they were hurt. There's 3 guarantees in life: death and taxes, and you will be an ex-athlete. I don't care if you're Michael Jordan. I don't care if you're Wilt Chamberlain. I don't care. You name the guy, you will be an ex-athlete. What I want the NFL to know is that we have never had a voice as a group of retirement players. And when you're 21 to 25 years old and you think you're bulletproof and invincible and you think that game's going to last forever, I'm here to tell you that it will not. And you will be sitting in the same seat that these guys are sitting in right now. That not one of these people up here is asking for any kind of sympathy, not asking for any kind of pity. They're asking to the NFL to do what's right, to do what they should do. What they've done to this point is not only asinine, it borders on being criminal. You will be hearing from us. We will not let this go away. And these guys need to be taken care of. And it's going to be my mission in life to see that they are. They said you have a sleep disorder, an REM disorder caused from repetitive hits in the head. I now have a 50% higher chance than anybody sitting in here of developing early dementia and Alzheimer's. I have a 50% chance of developing early Parkinson's. Broken bones and tearing my knee ligaments, I signed up for that. And if that's what you want to say I signed up for, I did. But I did not sign up for early dementia, and I did not sign up for Parkinson's. And if the NFL kept putting me out there when they knew they shouldn't have, that is on them, and that's what I'm asking that they take care of. The average team in 1995 in the NFL cost $175 million. 15 years later, the average team costs $1.02 billion in 15 years' time. That's how the NFL has grown exponentially. Don't tell me there's not a piece of that pie for the retirees.
This is real life 101. If you haven't felt the truth and the sincerity and the passion which these men have spoken, you haven't waken up yet. Our pension and our earned benefits. He said, Lem, I see where you've got at least 6 or 7 concussions. And out of ignorance again, I said, Doc, I've never had a concussion. He was placed in a pensive mood. He said, all right, tell me, have you ever been knocked out? I said, hell yeah. Gale Sayers, Robert Newhouse, Rufus Mays, Will Wright. I said, yeah. He said, Lem, that's when you get concussions. I said, well, I be darned. He said, what? I said, the doctors, the team physicians, never called them concussions. They called them dingers, stingers, or bell ringers. Lem, did you ever go back into a game after these concussions? Yes, every one of them. He said, well, what was the criteria to go back into the game? I said, well, after you get you unwoozy and walk you off the field, they give you a little smelling salve, give you a drink of water, then the litmus test is asked. He said, what's the litmus test? I said, well, it's 3 questions, and if you get 2 of the 3, you back in the game. He said, what were the questions? I said, first, what jersey are you wearing? What day is it? And what team are you playing? And if you can get 2 of the 3, guess what? You're back in the game. There are a lot of gentlemen that have played this game that you never hear about after they leave the game. Yeah, you hear about some of the Hall of Famers and some other all-pros and people of that nature, but just think of the multi-millions of guys who left the game disabled, no pensions, no wife, they lost their children, not a degree in college, so they can't work. We have a cornucopia of young men like that that are just wasted today because of the bad pension that we have.
Defensive linemen or positions that didn't allow them to have some kind of notoriety or a widespread following, who quietly came into the league and quietly left the league after a year, 2 or 3, or maybe just training camp and got, banged up. I remember coaches saying, we need guys in training camp for cannon fodder. So we bring guys in just to beat them up. And they don't receive benefits, they don't receive pension plans, they don't receive anything. But God, they was great guys. They're great guys.
Played in the NFL only 2 seasons over the course of 3 years. And when I was done playing in the NFL, I went to a chiropractor. And the chiropractor examined my neck, and she said, have you been involved in a car accident recently? And I said, no, why do you ask that? She said, because you have broken bones in your neck. Now, this was after I was done playing football, and had I decided that I wanted to go and try to apply for disability, I wouldn't have been able to get it. When the NFL denies disability, and almost in every case they will deny disability, you are the guys who pay for it, because they then have to go into Medicare or Medicaid, or they end up in the emergency room because they can't afford insurance based off of pre-existing disabilities. If George and I can't qualify for regular insurance because of pre-existing injuries from football, you will pay. If George and I can't afford it because we don't have the money due to inadequate pensions, you will pay. And inevitably, when George and I hit Medicare age, you will pay for all of our surgeries that we have to have as a result of playing football. So if you don't want to pay, right now is the time. Right now is the time to put pressure on the NFL to get the multi-billion-dollar NFL to pay and to take care of his brothers.
They've come to us today bearing their souls, not for themselves, but for their fellow players. The players today will be retired players tomorrow. They're only a play or hit away from being one of us. We're taking it on ourselves to share our stories with these young players today and to say, look, guys, this is what you need to really be aware of, and this is real life.